everybody, this is Marlon Fan95, and today is going to be my review for Deadpool. Deadpool was just an amazing movie. I have not enjoyed myself at a movie theater so much in a long time. I mean, it was just a fun, hilarious movie that is just so different from the norm of movies these days, and that is just what I think everyone likes about it. It is just crushing records at the box office, and it is just a great film. So the plot of this movie is, I like the direction they went with it. So instead of going the original origin story route, they kind of broke it up, and they did back and forth throughout the first about half of the movie, and then they ended up going into more of a linear storytelling for the rest of the way. So that, I think, really helped out with what could have been slow pacing for him to finally become Deadpool. Because when we see this movie, we want to see Deadpool. So that first, half of the movie where he's becoming Deadpool, that could end up being a little bit tedious. So I think they did a good job with, doing that back and forth thing. And it is very Deadpoolish anyway, so I think it worked out, great for the film. So the humor was just absolutely great. Just between the fourth wall breaking and kind of that, not necessarily fourth wall breaking, but making fun of things in real life, stuff like, Ryan Reynolds and all that type of thing. And then also kind of in a way of forwarding the plot and kind of mentioning stuff like that, where I guess you could kind of consider it fourth wall breaking, but it's not direct. So it's stuff like that I really liked. I'm not gonna mention all the jokes or anything because in case you haven't seen it, I'm gonna try and keep the spoiler free. But it was just great humor. And then as far as stuff I won't consider this a spoiler, but because anyway, so mentioning Wolverine and not having, I'm not going to mention that part because I consider that one of my favorite parts. So in case you haven't seen the movie, had to do with the X-Men in the house. So I'm going to leave it at that. If you know what I'm talking about, then you saw the movie. So that was one of my favorite jokes in the whole film, and it was just great. And then, of course, you had the Green Lantern jokes, which, obviously you saw coming. Even if you haven't seen the film yet, you saw the Green Lantern jokes coming. Now, they couldn't, obviously, get, a Green Lantern specific look in the film because of all that copyright stuff and everything. But, it was, pretty cool that they, kind of somehow worked that in. The characters. Deadpool, I'm not even going to talk about Deadpool because Deadpool's awesome and he was just great in the movie. Now the supporting characters, we have Vanessa and Weasel, and they were, I think, really good supporting characters. They, Weasel was a really likable guy, and so was Vanessa, so they both did a great job. Now as far as the mutants, we had Colossus and Negasonic Teenage Warhead. And they added a lot of great humor to the film as well. Colossus was extremely funny, so that was cool. As far as the villains go, we have Ajax. He was a pretty good villain. Nothing too amazing, but a decent first foe for Deadpool, and it wasn't too over the top, which was great about this movie. It wasn't a whole save the world type deal, and I like that. Now as far as Angel Dust, she was, there was nothing special about her. Her character was not really much more than a sidekick, so she wasn't great, but, nothing bad to say. I guess the acting might have been a little but overall, decent, okay. Dopinder was, this guy was just hilarious. Big surprise. I didn't think that, he would show up too much, but he showed up quite a bit, which was cool, and he was just a really funny guy, and I loved his character. So overall, Deadpool was a great film. The CGI at times got a little, cheap looking, but this was a very low budget film, so if they get more of a budget in future films, expect that to go back up, to, really good quality. But it wasn't bad at all. The whole, frozen time stuff and all that, I really loved that. That was great. So it was definitely the most I've laughed at a movie that I saw in theaters in a long time, and it was like genuine laughter. It was just great, and you could tell the whole crowd loved it as well. Everyone was excited. It was a little bit of a rowdy crowd, which, you know, I'm glad they enjoyed the movie, but sometimes that can get a little bit annoying. And I've noticed that that's a pattern, from what I can tell from a lot of showings of Deadpool, at least in the first week. But you know, it's a comedy movie at heart, so you kind of gotta expect something like that. So what do you guys think of Deadpool? Did you guys like it? Did you not like it? Are you excited for Deadpool 2? Let me know in the comment section below. Make sure to like me on the social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And until next time, I am Marlon Fan95. See you guys.